Hello, hello. What's up, guys? You're watching the Couch Casuals, and we're out here for UFC 309. I'm your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez, with my lovely host.
What's up, babies? This is Kyle DiOrio. You know what time it is. It's time for the GOAT Show. We have two reigning GOATs. One, the greatest of all time. Two, the greatest heavyweight of all time. And they're going to fight it out in New York City this Saturday.
This is going to be the end of discussion. The all-encapsulating argument that is, who is the GOAT? Because you can do GOATs by divisions. 145, everybody likes to argue Jose Aldo. Yeah. But there are weight classes for a reason. You put Jose Aldo against Stipe, it doesn't go well for Aldo.
It doesn't go well at all.
So you have Stipe Miocic, the GOAT of the heavyweight division. You have arguably the GOAT of all MMA in Jon Jones, but he's only dominated 205. He moves up, smashes Ciryl Gane.
Smashes, not even contest.
So you're like, okay, Jon has been acclimating his body to this new heavyweight division. Does he take over the heavyweight GOAT and solidify himself as the number one Mount Rushmore George Washington position?
Well, we'll get into that shortly.
We'll get into that later on.
Of other fights before that, folks.
What's the first one? What are we starting out with? Are we giving any prelim shout-outs?
Yeah, we should give a couple prelim shout-outs. You're gonna have Chris Weidman, former middleweight champion, on the prelims. Longtime fighter Jim Miller, still fighting. Wow. I thought his whole thing was he wanted to retire at 300, but
he wanted to make it to 300.
Oh, okay, fair enough. He's still going. He's on the prelims, and on the early prelims is Marcin Tybura, which is, seems a little odd. He's that low, but I feel like they're trying to do something for these early prelims.
That dude's livestock. He's there to he's not the cash cow necessarily, but people do know him and they will tune into his fights because he's Marcin Tybura,
yeah, I've heard that. There's a number beside his name. Must mean he's good, right?
Sure. Let's slap him on the early prelims, get people in there early, dude.
Let's do it. But I'm gonna say this.
They did this on the last one too. There was somebody on the early prelim that was like, why is he there? And you get to the pay-per-view card and you're missing a little name value. And early on this card, I think you could probably say the same. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of Mauricio Ruffy or James Lontop?
Oh, James Lontop?
Yeah, dude. LL on top.
Mauricio Ruffy, you said?
Mauricio Ruffy.
Mauricio Ruffy. Those are household names.
Those are big-time stars. We're talking Conor McGregor levels of star power.
I mean, I don't know how people don't know these two.
James Lontop has had 2 fights in the UFC. Both are losses.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Unless my only guess, so looking at the fight history of both of these fighters, I don't think I've seen I feel like I might have seen James Lontop for some reason. But I don't think I've seen Mauricio Ruffy. This is a casual podcast. You experts, get off of us.
Oh yeah.
We don't do our homework. We do a little homework.
I copy off of your homework.
We copy papers, and we just talk about it. Mauricio Ruffy is 1-0 in the UFC. I wonder if he's like one of these, maybe like these up-and-comers that we don't know about that they're trying to build up.
Like a heavy indie prospect?
Maybe. 1-0 versus an 0-2 guy in the UFC. And he's a very heavy favorite at minus 750. There's a lot of heavy favorites, which we'll highlight later on as well. But
if you wanted, just as a casual, as a fan, as a friend, if you wanted to bet on any of these fights, I need you guys to go to DraftKings.com/CCMMA. If you want to place your bets, if you bet $5, I believe they'll give you $200. Don't quote me on that. If you have a gambling problem, reach out to somebody. Other than that, not us. Other than that, I think that when people are using their money to bet on these fights, have an open mind. I don't know either of these fighters from the back of my hand, so just be careful when you're betting on these fights. Anyways.
Who you got?
What position is that? That's the opening to the main?
That is the first fight on the main card.
I got laptop.
You going to take laptop?
Yeah, I got laptop.
Double L on top?
Double L on top.
I'm going to take Ruffy. I think he's going to roughy him up.
He's going to roughy him up?
He's going to roughy him up.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're splitting.
Right off the bat, man. Might as well. Let's just get on into it.
In New York. Dude.
That's beautiful. It is in New York.
It is in New York.
What else you got for Ruffy on top?
I couldn't tell you.
Not a damn thing. Okay.
This is just a hypothesis, an educated guess, if you will.
It is. It really is. It's just a shot in the dark here.
It's a pick'em fight. Pick'em fight.
Not based on the odds, but you know what?
What? Hang on. You said Ruffy's the favorite?
Ruffy's a massive
700 plus?
Minus 750.
You guys go make some money. I'm personally not gonna bet on him, but you guys go make some money. I got laptop.
Double L on top. All right. We're gonna move on to the next fight. We're getting a little women's flyweight bout. A couple of Brazilians, your favorite. Viviane Araujo versus Karine Silva. The odds here, perfectly even.
Wow.
This is a pick'em.
This is a pick'em. I mean, you can't go wrong with picking a Silva. You really can't.
You really can't. You see the name Silva, you just like, you got a good chance of winning there.
Let's shout out our past Silvas. You got Mayra Bueno Silva.
There you go.
You got Anderson Silva, Vanderlei Silva. Sometimes on like Halloween, I dressed up in yellow shorts. I was Robbie Silva.
Nice.
No, when
Silva?
I used to play the UFC game back in the day, UFC 09, UFC 2010, because they didn't have my last name, so I'd pick Robbie Silva. Dude,
nice.
Monster
No video
kid.
game has ever had my last name.
No.
I can't. So.
Anyways. I think, dude, I'm going Silva.
I'm going to go Araujo.
Wow, dude.
Split going, man.
Is there anything about her that stands out to you?
No.
I'm blind. I have no idea what either of these women look like. Again, another reason that this card is top heavy. The first two fights are who? They're what? What are these rankings? You said something about rankings or no?
Viviane Araujo is 9 and Karine Silva is 11.
And this is flyweight at 125?
This is flyweight.
Ghost Town.
Man. It is what it is. Maybe they'll put on a show. Maybe this will be fight of the night and we're just shitting on them. This happened before. It's happened before and it'll happen again. That's why we're casuals and we're here to learn about these fighters with you guys.
Sure, yeah.
Fight, we know all about these guys. We know all about the next 6 fighters we're going to talk about.
All right.
We know a lot about them.
Let's get to that. Let's get
into some name recognition here.
Sure.
We have a middleweight fight with the biggest odds-on favorite in the entire main card.
Maybe in a while.
Bo Nickel minus 1,000 favorite over Paul Krieg. Paul Krieg.
Who has fluctuated back and forth. I think he fought at 205 against Jamal Hill. Broke Jamal Hill's arm.
Paul Krieg is he's one of the most interesting, careers. He I feel like he's always on the cusp of being cut. and then he gets like this one crazy win, and it's
Right.
like, okay, he's on the rise again, and then he fucking goes on a 2-fight losing streak, and he'll pull one off one more time. He's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. He's lost to Allen and Baralo. Remember the Baralo fight? He kind of just got slapped around. Bo Nickel, we got a young prospect, only a few fights in the UFC. Excellent wrestler. Got his first knockout against somebody that we had on the show that I don't even remember their name.
Champion on the indie scene, on the regional scene.
Yes, big time champion. Got slept in the first round by a wrestler.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. How do you see this one playing out? Bo, you think he goes to the ground? You think he avoids Paul Craig's submission attempts, or you think he just tries to plow his way through it?
So, in my professional opinion, as an analyst and as a reporter, as a journalist,
a real expert,
casual expert,
a casual expert, a couch expert,
a couch expert. Well, the term Monday morning quarterback, they named that after us.
Yeah.
They coined that phrase after us. So
Sunday morning fighter,
Sunday morning fighter. I would have did this. I would have done that. Paul Craig. Being, dude. Bo Nickel being 1,000+ favorite, or just like 1,000, if it's just regularly 1,000, I'm sensing some Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm stuff here.
You feel it? You feel it happening? You feel an upset coming?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying Paul Craig being able to submit Jamal Hill, very, very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. And then you have Bo Nickel, dominant wrestling heavy. Doesn't need to, though. He doesn't need to. He has striking ability on the hands. I believe he's on American Top Team, where
I believe you're right.
They have Dustin Poirier, Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington. They had Colby Covington. Now he's at MMA Masters, I think. But you come from a place that has quality strikers, you're going to pick up on a few things.
Yes.
He's not a Hamzat. He's not a leg humper, if you will. I don't want to get us, flag and say wrestle fucker. Oops. But he's not that. He has very good takedown defense, very good takedown offense. He has to be careful. I think I told you at the top before we even started recording, he answered a challenge to Gordon Ryan, the MMA Mount Rushmore, the Jiu-Jitsu Mount Rushmore goat.
Yeah, the Jiu-Jitsu.
And he German suplexed him on his head. Ended up getting caught in like a heel hook or like a leg lock or something like that. But he hadn't been training jiu-jitsu very long. Paul Craig is known for his jiu-jitsu, so he has to be very careful when it comes to the offensive wrestling. He could get caught in anything. And I think Paul Craig knew that when he signed the dotted line, signed to fight.
He definitely did.
I like Bo Nickel. I want him to rise, and I want him to win so much. I'm going to go with Paul Craig by submission. Second round.
Literally the only way Paul Craig wins this fight.
Yeah, no. I remember
literally the only way it's possible.
He shot in on Johnny Walker, a really shitty ankle pick single leg, and Johnny literally just backhand hammer fisted him into oblivion. That's the last Paul Craig fight I remember.
Yeah,
I know you just told him. You just told me his last 2 losses. I think 2-fight losing streak, right?
He's on a 2-fight losing streak.
He won after that Johnny Walker fight.
He did, and then he lost to Barajo and Brendan Allen.
Oh, Brendan Allen's a motherfucker.
He is.
So we'll see. But
we will see.
If you guys want to make some money, dude, the Paul Craig bet is not Paul Craig. That bet is not a bad bet, dude.
It's not. It's probably there's a clear path to victory there. This is Bo Nickel's first big name. I know Paul Craig's not a big name fighter, but he's more well known than any of the other fighters that Bo Nickel have fought.
Mm-hmm.
this is a UFC veteran. This is not a pull him from the indies, throw him in that card. This is a guy who's been around for a while. He's fought a lot of big name fighters. He's won some. He's lost some. If Bo Nickel is not careful, he will get submitted. But does Bo Nickel just walk all over him? It's also, I think this is, even though it says minus 1,000, it's a lot of chance. I think Paul Craig's got a good chance.
That's the uneducated. That's purely Vegas going like, oh no, Bo Nickel's on a rise. Fuck Paul Craig.
We are casuals, but I think I'm rolling with Mr. Creed.
Oh, wow.
To throw up some sort of like Hail Mary fucking heel hook or a triangle choke and get the dub on Mr. Nickel.
I did not see that coming from you. We are both going to be shocked when Bo Nickel cancels everything we just said out.
No, we're not. I'm not going to be shocked. Like, I could easily see Bo Nickel just
thrashing,
negating everything,
right,
thrashing him. But we'll see. If Paul Creed can, come in a little oversized by Saturday, and
this is only 3 rounds. This is not 5 rounds where he might have an opportunity to Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen, number 1. This thing. Who knows though? Who knows? You and I. Shout out to Paul Craig, a CCMMA favorite.
Clearly.
Always welcome on the show.
Mr. Craig, come on out. If you win, you're officially a CCMA guy.
I might put him on the wall, dude.
Hey, man. Anyway, let's go on to the co-main. Big name, big time. Entertainment value is in the building. We got a rematch. A former lightweight championship fight in Charlie Olives versus Iron Michael Chandler, making his long-awaited return after the Conor McGregor layoff.
Blunder.
Yeah. Was it a blunder, though? You would have waited for that payday, too.
Yes, I would have waited for the payday, but there were signs before there were signs.
There were signs, but he's back in action in New York City versus Charlie Olives. This one is sure to be exciting.
Banger.
Plain and simple. Michael Chandler's going to explode out, and if he doesn't win in the first 30 seconds, he'll die. I think potentially.
Did you see his tweet? I think it was a tweet. He's on X now. He's talking about this is going to be a performance you've never seen out of me. It's going to be something. It's going to be masterful. This isn't verbatim, but he might take another direction here.
You think so? You think he'll play to his actual strengths?
He has, and I'll tell you this, he has enough stock where people will watch him fight. He fought Dustin Poirier a certain way, Charlie Olives a certain way, Justin Gaethje a certain way, Dan Hooker a certain way. He's already got the eyes. Now let me turn heel and let me put on a boring wrestlefuck. Sorry.
I mean, it could be. You could be right.
Again, you don't want to mess with Charles's jiu-jitsu.
You don't. I don't know if there's a boring bone in Michael Chandler's body, even when he does wrestle. It's explosion. It's
100%.
slams. It's, dude. Everyone knows I'm a Chandler dick rider. I think at this point.
Maybe.
But it's because he's so fucking entertaining. Go watch his Bellator fights.
Yeah.
There are some absolute bangers. Him and Eddie, I think it's Eddie Alvarez. I think they had an insane fight.
Mm-hmm. 3 different ones, I think.
Yeah. So, he's up there. So is Charlie Olives, and I love Charlie Olives. That dude has been an assassin ever since, on that rise.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler,
Justin
Poirier. He gets hurt and he wills his way through it. He's number 2. Do you foresee a possible title fight for either of these gentlemen after Sarukian?
First of all, fuck Armand, and I'll stand on that.
Yeah, he's not a beloved guy.
I don't, unless it's literally a a whitewash either way, Islam's going up to 170 after Arman.
You think so?
Dana already said.
That's fair.
Dana already said, all right, he's done enough. If he beats Arman, he's going to go up to 170. I think that puts 155 in limbo. Arguably one of the best divisions from the
pretty stacked.
The past couple years since Conor fought Eddie Alvarez, 155 has been on notice. Kind of before that.
155 is where it's at. I mean, 170 though got a lot of talent, a lot of wrestle heavy guys that could potentially match Islam. Well, we're gonna have ourselves here though. We're talking about Charlie Olives and Michael Chandler. So I'm taking a look at the lightweight rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go. So Chandler is at 7. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right in front of him is Dan Hooker at 6.
Yep.
Max Holloway at 5.
Well,
Dustin Poirier at 4. Justin Gaethje at 3. Charlie Olives, and then Arman Tsarukyan.
did Arman beat Charlie?
He did. He did.
And then Arman
Previous fight.
Well, hang on. That was an arguable thing because Charlie Olives bled a lot more than he should have.
It was a split decision. Yeah.
Arman beat Gaethje.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Did he?
No.
That was rhetorical. That was rhetorical.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
Arman beat Dustin?
Arman has not.
The only way he got there was a boring split decision versus Charlie Olives.
He beat Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush was the next in line.
Oh, Beneil.
I know. Come on. Beneil was the next guy in line when he lost that fight, though.
Sure. Yeah, dude. Shout out to Arman. We're talking about Charlie Olives versus Michael Chandler. I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
How frustrated would you be if you were the coach of Michael Chandler in past fights? Not this one, in past fights. He goes in there, it's a street fight with gloves. He throws the game plan out the window. You're like, brother, we need a win.
Wrestle!
It depends, if they have the same mindset where they're like, you know what, let's go in here, let's put on the biggest show, let's make a lot of money and get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. If the coach is like, we could go for gold, we need you to play to your strengths. Yeah, I'd be very frustrated.
I think this is about the time though. You already made, like I said, you already made your stock. People are interested in seeing you fight. You're not the reason people are going to buy this card and or stream this card. But
it's a big cherry on top.
Dude, you're it. Like people, you're going to get this card hyped up for the main event. That is your job right now. Do you win in incredible fashion? Or do you finally cave, go back to your roots, and instinct goes out the window, you stick to the game plan?
Let's see what happens. A lot of this talk, though, I believe the way lightweight is at the moment, Arman coming off a split decision win over Charlie. If Charlie or Michael get a spectacular finish or spectacular win here, and the way these guys can get on the mic and the way they're beloved by the fans,
mm-hmm.
I could see one of these guys leapfrogging into a title fight.
Wow.
If it's in really spectacular fashion.
Like, are we talking Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren fashion?
It maybe not have to be that spectacular, but it could be, Charlie versus Michael or Michael versus Tony's fashion. Like, a big finish, a dominant performance.
Mm-hmm.
You leapfrog a guy who's got a split decision over Charlie. Maybe, right?
Maybe.
Because Islam has cleaned out the division for the most part.
It's up to Islam, and Islam hasn't fought Chandler.
No, he hasn't. And if you want that pay-per-view money, would you rather fight Tsarukyan or would you rather fight Oliveira or Chandler?
Get Tsarukyan out of here, dude.
That's not a big name fight.
Give me Tsarukyan on the early prelims.
Throw him down there with Marcin Tybura, dude. Let's watch that fight.
I think you're right. I think you're right. No. I think you're
possible.
Right. All right. Do you think Michael Chandler is the Ric Flair of the 155 division?
Oh, he's definitely the Ric Flair of the 155. That dude could talk on a mic. If he goes to the WWE when he's done, I mean, he'll be a star.
I think so.
If he could, this dude.
They showed him on Monday Night Raw during this whole Conor build-up, just trying to get more eyeballs in the TKO
and he got the crowd fucking screaming too.
Conor dropped, dude. Conor fumbled the bag. Almost as bad as I just fumbled those words. Conor fumbled the bag on Mike Chandler. Was he going to fight Dan Hooker now? Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
All right.
Tatted up Dan Hooker, baby.
Blonde, tatted up Dan Hooker. Conor could fight a mop and sell at least 500,000 pay-per-views. But ultimately, okay, everybody's already doubting you and your level of competition you want to come back to. Dan Hooker will fuck you up.
Dan Hooker is not to be taken lightly. This man is on a late career rise all of a sudden. It's crazy. Hey, 55 is where it's at. A lot of big entertainment to be had here.
All right, Casual, who you got?
I love both of these fighters.
Oh, dude, Charlie Olives might be, and this is Alex Bejeda included.
Ooh.
He takes his silver as my favorite Brazilian. Alex Bejeda sorry.
I love Charles Oliveira. I love Michael Chandler. There's no heart in this. This is all me having to piece together what I think will happen. There's no heart here. I think Chandler gets his rub back. I think Chandler will. Wow. I'm expecting big things from Chandler here.
Wow. He's been weight training, strength training, getting ready. He's had 2 very healthy years, no concussions, no knockouts. His last fight before the Conor spectacle that was a loss to Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, that was his last fight, was the Dustin fight.
Got pieced up and I think submitted.
He did get submitted.
So it's not as bad as getting knocked out. He got kind of flatlined against Michael Chandler. I think he's very healthy going into this fight. I got Charlie Olives, dude.
I think it's fair, man. This is a real tough one. Would I be shocked? I would in no way be surprised at any sort of outcome between anything you can imagine here. I think it's possible. I like Charlie Olives, and if he wins, I'll be happy for him. And if Michael wins, I'll be happy for him. So
Same.
This is gonna be a tough one. I don't want either of these guys to lose.
No shade on either of them.
This is one of those fights you're like, damn, why'd they have to put these 2 guys together again? I don't want either of them to lose.
Right.
But it is what it is.
We split yet again.
We're split again. We have not. The only point we're back in so far is Craig.
I didn't think that you would back Paul Craig. Craig, dude, CCMMA favorite. Charlie Olives, definitely a CCMMA favorite.
Yeah.
But you seem to have a different opinion, so.
He's definitely a CCMA favorite.
We'll see. We'll see.
So is Iron Michael Chandler. But now we got a big bag to talk about. We have the finale of potentially 2 careers. Probably 2 careers.
Most definitely 2 careers.
An era. The finale of an era of fighting. John Jones, the reigning heavyweight champion, versus Stipe Miocic.
Which, this is where I'm going to piss some of our friends and our fans off if you're really in here. Is Stipe the heavyweight GOAT? He got knocked out by Francis.
I mean, I believe
title defenses,
the GOATs.
Title defenses are there. He got flatlined by Francis.
He did. I don't think a GOAT always necessarily wins every fight in a division. So, like, I know that doesn't make any sense, but Stipe was a much older man when he fought Francis Ngannou.
Sure, the first and the second time.
First and second time.
Beat his fucking ass the first time.
Stipe, you know, I think he's still technically. I think he's the heavyweight GOAT. Francis is definitely not the heavyweight GOAT. Like, I'm sorry, you maybe could have been if you kept fighting, but you're not.
But you're not.
You're not here.
You're off, fucking around in PFL, putting on
think,
$10K worth of pay-per-views for the PFL. That's despicable.
Good. Then our boy Johnny Bones Jones, win or lose here, I think he remains the UFC GOAT overall.
So. Mm-hmm.
I don't think this loss tarnishes his GOAT status.
I think I've said this in the past. If he loses here, it may make him more catchable.
Right, in the
in the future.
Yeah,
for someone to overtake him.
Right.
But I don't think this loss takes away, because when he was cleaning out the light heavyweight division early in his career, he was beating some of the best of all time.
World beaters.
When light heavyweight was still light heavyweight. It's dwindled in recent years. It's not what it once was. But when Johnny took over, light heavyweight was the division in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
It was the premier division. I mean, let's look at all the names that we're gonna go through the names that John Jones beat in light heavyweight. Okay.
John Jones versus Stipe is so fucking big, dude.
This is huge, man. John's beaten Shogun Hua. He's beaten Ryan Bader. He's beaten Rampage Jackson. He's beaten Lyoto Machida. He's beaten Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Gustafsson, Teixeira, Daniel Cormier twice, Ovince St. Preux, Gustafsson twice. Like, this dude's
He's unreal.
He's unreal.
Okay. So you just listed his resume. This is the perfect time for my question. I have one of them. Two of them, really. Do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
Potentially. I think he probably is. And I don't even blame him.
Ducking?
Why in the twilight of your career would you... I mean, I hope he does fight him, because if he goes on to beat Stipe and then takes on Tom Aspinall, and if he beats Tom Aspinall, I don't think there is any catching John Jones as the GOAT. I think you cement the future as John Jones, period. If you beat the up-and-coming top heavyweight prospect, the most athletic...
Careful.
One of the...
Who did Tom Aspinall beat to become champion? Sergio Pavlovich?
Yeah.
Who just got beat pretty bad?
Dude. I mean, Tom Aspinall, you know that dude's legit.
Oh,
that's a natural freak of a man. And
yes.
I'm not saying he may not even be the best heavyweight right now, but what I'm saying is, if John Jones beats the young top contender at heavyweight in his prime, when he's in his twilight era of his career, I think that says a lot about John Jones.
I think Tom Aspinall gets wrecked by Derek Lewis. Yeah, moment of silence.
Let's just continue. Well, I like that. That was.
I don't think he's ducking Tom Aspinall, and even if there was a hint of like, nah, I'm not fighting him. I see where you're coming from with the generational win of like, okay, well, he was the up and coming, and I just thrashed him. Will be now, forever, and still always. It doesn't really do much. It's kind of like if he wins, oh, he was supposed to win. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
I don't think that's how people feel.
Really?
I think a lot of people looked at John's last fights at light heavyweight, didn't look as good. Obviously, he came in, he dominated Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, not a wrestler.
So we didn't really get to see like what is John really capable of. Well, no one has pushed him at heavyweight, and I think.
And his body wasn't really. It was acclimated for heavyweight, as in he was a big old boy, but he wasn't he wasn't ripped at heavyweight. He's eating a lot of Uncrustables trying to get up to Cyril Gahn's weight.
He was, and I think Stipe wins on Saturday night. I think Stipe gets the perpetual underdog. I think this dude wins.
Wow, dude.
Not knocking John Jones, man. We're talking about the heavyweight GOAT. You're moving up.
You're talking about a guy. No, dude, come on. You're talking about a guy they had an entrance for him at one of the pay-per-views. He was limping actively. Stipe's an old dude. And
so is John.
Check their ages. Do it again. Check their ages, dude.
I'm gonna check their ages, dude. Why is it not listed on here? Where is this? Oh, he's 42 years old.
Stipe's 42 years old?
Yeah. John's 37.
Well,
I'm not gonna change my pick now that I know.
No. Go ahead. Hey, man.
I've made my pick. I'm gonna ride with Stipe.
Even after you found out his age, see, that's something similar to what my father did. Late great Bob. He Manny Pacquiao was fighting Floyd Mayweather, and my dad was like, "Floyd's too old. He's too old." And then he found out that Manny was older than Floyd. He was like, "Oh fuck!" Stuck with his pick, and then boxing fans know how that fight went. It was just so funny. You reminded me of him. Stipe being 42, firefighter, heavyweight resume, out of this world, dude. I believe in Stipe that he will put on a very good fight against John Jones. Squeaking out, because I can't even fathom it. I can't even fathom John Jones losing. I watched the Dominic Reyes fight at 205. That's what happens when you're going up against the caliber that John Jones was going up against at that time. What's going to get him out of bed? Dominic Reyes didn't get him out of bed. The Hammer,
Thiago Santos?
Yeah, Thiago Santos. That didn't get him out of bed. And Thiago almost beat him with 2 blown out knees.
Yeah.
Stipe, he knows who Stipe is. And there's been some disrespect. Have you heard about this?
Yeah. Bring it, bitch.
Bring it, bitch. Said it twice. John's like, all right. You want to call me a bitch? All right, cool. Dude, I would not mess with this man.
I mean, I'm not. John's the GOAT, man. I'm not taking anything away from him, man.
You are.
How?
By picking this
Stipe.
By picking this washed up fighter. His last fight was a knockout against Francis, who isn't even in the UFC anymore. He's off selling lemonade for PFL.
That's not due to his talent.
Getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua on the feet. Going up against Tyson Fury. Not being able to put him out. Put him down. Okay, cool. Put him out. He's the most unorthodox thing a boxer has seen in ages. And that's all he is a heavy hand. He used the little bit of wrestling knowledge he got to beat some 7-foot monster. But I digress. This is the UFC. This is the end-all, be-all. And who owns the UFC? The number 1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, Johnny Bones Jones.
That's your pick?
That's my pick. It will always be my pick. There isn't no realm of possibility.
There's a smart reason to do that, but Stipe is the perennial underdog. He stays the underdog. That man wins as the underdog.
He's geriatric.
Ain't that much. Look, he ain't that much older. He's a fireman.
He's older. He's older.
I'm picking a little bit with my heart here, but
if he even makes it, we're doing this early in the week. Even if he makes it to the fight, I'm interested to see what the weight differential will be in pounds.
John said he's only like 230 this week. That's a lot to get to 265.
At John's biggest, still has chicken legs. Stipe,
he really does.
I don't know about the decorated wrestling of Stipe to the extent where like he wasn't trying to wrestle DC, hit DC with some nasty body shots. He doesn't have the range on John Jones that he had on DC. He doesn't have the wrestling credentials. He doesn't have the technique that John Jones finishes fights in many different ways. Stipe is kind of like knockout or nothing. Or decision.
Yeah.
I got Johnny Bones.
I got Stipe. We're going to stay split except for one fighter at Krieg.
Shout out to Paul Krieg.
Paul Krieg, the only man that could unite us today. The only one.
We love Bo Nickel, by the way. This is no hate on Bo Nickel Penn State? Is this where he wrestled at?
Yeah, there's no hate on any of the guys, I think. Well, sometimes there's some hate when we pick against people, but sometimes it's like you just got to go with what your gut and your little brains are tinkering with. And
who's that guy at 170 that's champion? I can't remember his name to save my life.
Does he have something wrong with his toe or something? Like
I think I sent you a post about his
my foot was a balloon.
Roughed up, nasty ass toe.
Toe looked bad.
Toe looked bad.
Remember the toe.
Remember the toe. Hashtag remember the toe. Dude, I don't get it, man. I thought you had a brain. I thought you knew that John Jones was going to go out and dominate Stipe Miocic like he does everybody else.
We'll see, man.
Use his long limbs. Maybe. Hang on. Okay. Question. Do you see any fouls going on during this fight? Either side. Not saying John's a dirty fighter.
I don't think that's a dirty tactic because I think it could be used as a dirty tactic, but I think when people do that, they're genuinely just trying to
measure distance.
Keep
them away.
I don't think that's a dirty tactic specifically. I don't like those oblique kicks. It's not illegal, but I think it's so. Could you just one oblique kick and Stipe's knee just gives out?
I could see that. I could see it widening out.
I don't like it, man. It's. I'm interested to see what happens.
As am I. In New York, our time.
Yeah, no early fights this weekend.
No, we're gonna have to ride this out. What are you doing? What are you doing for the fights?
I'm going. Well, I don't know yet, to be honest with you.
Oh, you do.
I really don't know exactly where it's going to take place.
We should get up. Dude.
I'm down.
You down?
If you want to, it might be at Alex's.
I can go to Alex's.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alex. Shout out to our boy Alex, dude.
What up, Alex?
What up, Alex? Shout out to our boy Jeremiah. Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, the big Dustin fan.
Big J fan, dude.
Big J fan.
I mean, are you done talking about this? I have one more question that doesn't have to do with any of this. So if you're done, I'm done.
No other thought.
You know that this isn't the only fight that's going down this weekend.
Oh my God.
We have Iron Mike Tyson versus Jakey Paul, dude.
That's been our show, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Come on, man. You can't
fucking Jake Paul fight on this show.
Come on.
Man. We got heavyweight action in the UFC.
We have the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time, arguably, other than Tyson Fury. But there's a reason that Tyson Fury is named Tyson in the first place, and that is because of Mike Tyson, the boxing legend, the end-all be-all, who you would create if you wanted the purest hardcore boxer of all time, facing the problem child, the up-and-coming scariest boxer in all of the divisions. You're not going to ride with Jake Paul on this? And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. I love you, and we're out. CCMMA.